Good morning and welcome to another money morning routine. Okay, so closing out my July budget coming up this week. It will probably be on, I believe it's Wednesday. And so just winding down with all of my spending and all of my different things. So we had some things come out over the weekend. This is my checking account expense tracker. Now, as I had mentioned before, I do have jewelry insurance. I can't remember if I mentioned that on my Instagram or here. So jewelry insurance, it's funny, I only have this for really one piece of jewelry. Last year, I had my mom's ashes and some of my hair turned into a diamond. It was a year-long process, and I received that last year. And it's a very, very special, obviously, piece of jewelry. I wear it as a necklace. I never take it off. And the company that I went through, Eternova, they keep enough carbon from that process to make multiple diamonds just in case you lose the one that you have. And they store that in their vault. So if I ever did lose it, let's say I'm snorkeling in Hawaii or something and it falls off. Now you might be asking, well, Miko, why would you ever snorkel with that? Like I said, I never take it off. And so I wanted to make sure it was properly insured and it would cover the full cost to have it replaced by Eternova if I lost it, or if I need to have the prongs on the necklaces inspected or the chain, or to make sure that everything is strong and okay with the necklace. So that's all 100% covered. I pay $215 a year for that service and for that insurance. It is worth it to me because it is a very, very, very expensive piece of jewelry. It's not something that I would, let's say if I did lose it and needed to replace it, I wouldn't be able to just pay for it again. I don't have a sinking fund or anything in place for that. Now, could I? Yes. However, to me, I believe having the jewelry insurance, it would take me probably another year to save up for that. So right now I'm having the jewelry insurance to have it fully covered. I had a $10 copay. I went and saw my dermatologist over this last week, and it turns out I do have melasma, which I was not hoping for that in that news, but that's what it came to. And then my YouTube TV came out for 102. Now, YouTube TV coming out, that's my last bill. I know that. So let's go over here to my July budget and fill in the blank spaces. Remember, if there's anything blank on my actual column, those are the bills I'm still waiting for. So life insurance came out for $810. So write that down. And then we have the YouTube TV for $102.53. So write that down. Okay, so this is done. All of my bills have come out completely. I need to look at Avista. I still need to call Avista and figure out what's going on. I would like to look at my Avista account and figure out why they didn't pull the full 1,400 like I thought they were going to do. Okay, so if we look at sinking funds, also let's look at sinking funds. I think the only sinking fund that is going to be going away soon because I hit that is my Yellowstone sinking fund, but I will continue that probably into August because that trip is in September. So that's all I have going on there. Let's go ahead and go to my cash expense tracker because I did have some cash spending from over the weekend. I spent some of my household, and it wasn't on household things. It was actually on because I only have, I believe it's like $12 left in my food envelope. And I wanted to go get some snacks for baseball. So you can see like I got crackers and turkey wrap and a hummus thing and pretzel sliders, things that I could carry in my cooler for baseball that day. That came to $32 even. $32 even. So we have 5, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18. So $18 left. So write that down. And I went to Safeway. It was yesterday, so that would have been on 7/27. So 7/27, write down Safeway. And I'm going to put this under my food category because that's what that is. So minus 32. Okay, out of this, I also saw some $5 bills. Now, that's a lot of money with the remaining money I have in household. The question is, Miko, are you going to spend any more money? Do you have any plans to spend any more money on household before the end of the month? No, I don't. I don't plan on spending any more money on household things in the next couple of days. So I'm now going to save all three of these fives towards my $5 challenge, which today is the 28th. So 7/28, $5 challenge minus 15. That only leaves me with $3 more. So I'm going to put these in my $5 challenge jar, put these $3 back in here. And now I'm going to scan my receipt into Fetch Rewards. And now I'm going to write these two transactions on my cash expense tracker. All right, so that envelope is done. All right, so pets, I still have zero. I have $0 in pets. Beauty, I still have my 50 for that. Miscellaneous is gone. And fun, I'm down to a 5, which, by the way, I'm just going to save for my $5 challenge as well, mine as well. So I'm going to just change what I wrote down here from 15, scribble it out, and put 20. Yes, it's okay if you scribble out in your workbook. So now I have $20 to put towards my $5 challenge. That's very good. And don't forget, since we took that from here, we need to write that down. 7/28, $5 challenge minus 5, leaving me with 0 in fun. So the only envelope that I really have any money in is my beauty, a little bit in food, and a little bit in my household. That's it. Not a spending going on this month. So that takes care of my cash spending. Now, I did want to show you, and I am still trying to figure out how I want to do this, but this is the money that I made from my farm stand this weekend. Yes, I sold more things. I know I posted recently about my first farm stand sales. I got more. I also got my first Venmo payment for $15. Someone bought a dozen of eggs and some of my soap up there. So that's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. All right, so now I have $30. And what I've been doing with this income, because it's very sporadic, I don't need it for anything. In fact, I'm going to be using this money as spending money for our Ichiro trip next month. But I've been just setting all the cash from the cash box that's out in my farm stand and just been setting it aside. And then I was going to total it up on the last day of the month and add it as other income into my July expense tracker. And then write how much, and then write the savings expense. So it would look like a savings line, which would be a deposit into my life. And then I would do a spending line for the savings of that money as a withdrawal, and they would cancel each other out. That's how I think I'm going to do it, rather than writing down the income every single time I receive money from the farm stand, because that could be daily. That's a lot of transactions to write down. So I might just save it all up until the very end of the month and put it in at that time, because I also need to write down any Venmo payments. Like I said, it's only one right now, but so that's the money that I've earned. So far I've earned 30 here, another 15 in cash, and another 15 in Venmo. So hey, not bad this month. Really, it's not too bad. I haven't sold as many eggs as I usually do because I've been focusing on the farm stand as far as other things, getting that up there and ready, but not bad. I'm really happy with this. All right. Also, we had my son's birthday this weekend, and another update. Came home yesterday and our stove doesn't work. The fan turns on, light turns on, but the fan does not, or the actual stove itself does not work. And so I'm going to have to be calling someone today and using my house maintenance fund to figure out what's going on with that. I checked the breaker. We have no idea what's going on. But let's jump into August. So August is coming up. Oh. First, before we do that, let's go to the end of the month. Look at what happened. I literally stopped tracking on Thursday, like I always do. So yesterday I could write down because I remember that we went out to eat, and I can't even remember the place that we went out to. Oh, it was the Hop Mountain that we went and ate at yesterday. For Saturday, we had Dante's B-Day, which was a barbecue. I think Thursday and Friday, we just made it work. But I'm going to leave those because I can't specifically remember what we had with that. But I got to color this yellow because Hot Mountain was eating out. So let's go into August and look at August. August is coming up, and I'm about to close July and go into August. I have my August cash envelopes. My August budget calendar is done. My August budget is done. Couple of things. My car insurance is going to be renewed in August on around the 26th. And then also we're having the Ichiro weekend, which we are going to be going over there the 7th, 8th, and 9th. And so we're going to be going to 2 Mariners games. That is done. And then I probably will be using some of my Farmstand cash at the end of July to cover some of the spending for that. So that's all I have going for my morning routine.